What's up, y'all? Welcome to the channel. Hold up, let me get my water real quick. I got a little bit of coffee left, and I got some water. Let me get them, and I'm gonna be right back with you. While you waiting on me to go get the coffee and the water, subscribe to the channel. Go on my website, buy you one of these hoodies. The podcast was sold.bigcartel.com. Follow me on my Instagram. The podcast was sold. And if you want to send me an email, you can email me at thepodcastwassold@gmail.com and subscribe to this channel. Let me get my water and my coffee. Got my coffee and I got my water. I got them both because that's what I said I was going to do. That's what came out my mouth. That's what I told you I was going to do. And that's what I did. That's how I live my life. Like an oath. Let me tell you a prison story. I did time in federal prison. FCI Morgantown, West Virginia. I did 15 months, 15 days, and 19 hours on a white collar crime. One of the most impactful experiences of my life was going to federal prison. I learned more. I studied harder in terms of knowledge from books and encyclopedias. And I learned more and studied harder in federal prison than I did getting my bachelor's degree in accounting from Morris Brown College in Atlanta, Georgia, and my master's of science in financial management from the New Jersey Institute of Technology in Newark, New Jersey combined. I learned more and studied harder in the joint than I did in formal education, traditional college, university, whatever the hell you want to call it. I graduated with my accounting degree with a 2.8 grade point average, and I graduated with a 3.28 grade point average for my master's degree. I graduated with honors, cum laude. So all of y'all suckers that's gonna go in the comment section, just so you know, fake profile boy, fake profile comment boy. I remember one day I was coming, I think I might have been coming from Mainline. If you don't know what Mainline is, that's where you go eat. And I remember it was kind of cold because I had my coat on, my green prison issue coat. And I was coming back through the rec. I was coming back through rec because when I came from Mainline, I could cut through rec, peep in the gym, see what's going on in the gym. You understand? And then niggas be chilling in the hallway, and then I could dip out the other side of rec and then walk up to my unit, to Gerard unit, which was on the top of the hill. And I was coming through rec, and a dude named Cunningham was sitting there. Cunningham was out of Atlanta, Georgia. And Cunningham was sitting there playing the guitar. They had all kind of instruments at Morgantown. You could play the drums, you could teach yourself the instrument, you could play the trumpet, the saxophone, whatever instrument you wanted to play, they had it, and niggas used to be playing them. So I met Cunningham on my second day in prison when I went through orientation in the auditorium. I was sitting in orientation like this, and Cunningham, I think, was sitting like back behind me or over there or whatever. But we met the second day I was in there, and he told me he was from Atlanta. I said, I'm from Jersey. I said, I went to school in Atlanta. I went to Morris Brown. He said, yeah, I know. You know, a nigga from Atlanta, they know about Mo Brown. So we had connected on that tip. So This particular day, I'm coming back from mainline. I'm walking through Rec, Cunningham there playing the guitar. And Cunningham was an older gentleman. At that time, Cunningham might have been in his mid to late 50s. And he was very deliberate. He was very well-spoken. He pronounced his words well. He enunciated his syllables well. He had a very good vocabulary, and he was very intelligent. And I met some of the smartest niggas in the world in prison. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And he was playing the guitar, and he said, "Hey, Sean," he saw me coming, and he said, "Hey, Sean." He stopped playing the guitar, and he said, "Hey, Sean, only a fool prepares himself on the battlefield." And went back playing the guitar, put his head down, went back playing the guitar. And I heard it. When he said it, it hit me in my chest. Boom! Only a fool prepares himself on the battlefield. And he went back playing the guitar, and I dipped off. And I just kept repeating that to myself over and over and over until I could walk back to my unit and get my notebook and write it down. I had a notebook that I bought off the commissary that I still got in my house. I'm in upstate New York now. I'm in Oneonta, New York by Cooperstown. Sean playing a Little League baseball tournament. I bought a notebook off the commissary, and I bought a notebook and some pens. And I used to write, study, read. And when he told me that, I said, "Sean, go write that shit down. Go write that down." And as I was walking to the unit, only a fool prepares himself on the battlefield. Only a fool prepares himself on the battlefield. Only a fool. I kept repeating that to myself to make sure I didn't forget it. And I went straight to the unit, straight to my bunk, got my notebook, sat in my chair, and wrote it down. Only a fool prepares himself on the battlefield. And I put the date, and I put Cunningham next to it. And as I began to contemplate that phrase, as I began to put that phrase on the scale, in the ways of the scale, just as they do in ancient Egypt, the pharaohs, you put your heart on the scale and you put a feather on the other side of the scale. This is called mayat. And your heart has to be as light as a feather. When they put your heart on that scale with that feather, it better balance. Because if your heart is heavy, you've done wrong, you've deceived, you've murdered without justification, you've stole, you've robbed, you've lied, your heart will be heavy and the scale will tilt, indicating to the gods that you are not ready to pass on into the afterlife and live in eternity. And then Anubis eats your heart and sends you back to the world to relive again. There's 12 doors that go through Mayat. This is ancient Egypt. I've been to Egypt 3 times, been into the Sudan. I'm like a neophyte Egyptologist. But I've been to Egypt, sneakers on the ground, sneakers in the sand, sat on the Great Pyramid, sat on there, went all down the Nile, all that. But anyway, let me get back to my story. Y'all trying to distract me. So, as I began to contemplate and I put that phrase on the scale, I said, yo, this is something to live by. Only a fool prepares himself on the battlefield. So what that means is that preparation and being ready is of the utmost importance. And I said to myself, I said, Sean, you have to prepare. You have to start preparing for your release. You have to start preparing for your second act after you get released from prison. You have an out date. Start getting prepared for what you're going to do when you leave. And then I began to look and juxtapose and place that phrase adjacent and parallel to other instances in my life that got me sent to prison and all the other stupid shit I used to do where I was never prepared. I always reacted, right? I went in unprepared. I didn't feel that it was necessary to take the time to prepare in order to perform well. And that's when I was a fool. As that statement says, I was a goddamn fool. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. And look at this shirt. Look at this shirt. I don't even make these shirts no more. Look at this shirt. Nigga got that Fed look, man. Nigga got that Fed look. You see the maps too? They in there. Don't play with me, man. The abs is in there. The turtle shells stay locked in. I look good, don't I? Yeah, I know I do. So I began to look and to see how big of a fool and how much of a fool I was and how much of a fool I had become and how my foolery got me into federal prison. And I began to say that I was no longer going to, that I was going to the best of my ability and with the proper discipline and diligence and vigilance, that I was going to live the remainder of my life preparing for war before I go to war, right? And even in The Art of War, I've read The Art of War, but what the fuck is that? Y'all heard that? That shit scared me. Even in The Art of War, the book, The Art of War, by Sun Tzu, which is an ancient Chinese military strategy book on strategy. It says in there also that the army that is waiting on the battlefield for the opponent to come is relaxed and he's ready. Vis-a-vis the army that's on the march, running into the battlefield, getting ready to engage, an army that's sitting there ready and waiting is at a disadvantageous position. The army that is at rest, chilling like Matt Dillon, ain't robbing, ain't stealing, waiting for my man to come, he got him. He's got the advantage because the army that's coming, they tired, they come, you know what I'm saying? So, and The Art of War says that those that rush into the battlefield last are at a disadvantageous position. Those that are already there and waiting are in an advantageous position, right? So you have to prepare. Also in The Art of War, it talks about how in the very beginning of the book, I used to listen to the CD all the time. I started listening to The Art of War. I'm 55. I started listening to The Art of War when I was about 25, 26. I used to listen to it every day. I committed it to memory, damn near. In the beginning, it talked about how the general must lay out the plans at headquarters as to what he's gonna do, where he's gonna send the battalion, where he's gonna send the infantry, where he's gonna send the flank. You know, all this stuff has to be assessed at headquarters. Who has the way? Who has the leadership? Who has the terrain? You know, all these things must be assessed at headquarters, and this is how you can know who will win. And I love that phrase. Only a fool prepares himself on the battlefield. So in my life, I take my time now. I don't rush into things. I take my time. And I try to make preparation. Prepare, Sean. All right, you got a meeting on Tuesday, you got a meeting next Wednesday, write it all down. What are you gonna do? What are your questions? Write your questions down. Don't just try to rely on your memory. Write things down. So when you go into the meeting with this person, you're prepared, you're ready. You understand? When you go into this situation with these people that you're trying to do business with, you're ready. what I'm saying? Get prepared, be ready. That's what I try to do, man. Only a fool prepares himself on the battlefield. That's another one of my prison stories. Y'all like my prison stories or what? You like them or what? Yes or no? You don't like them or do you like them? Let me know in the comment section if you like them. Go on my website and buy something. Right now, hurry up. Go right now, hurry up. As soon as you get off this video, go on my website and buy something right now. Hurry up. Peace.